Welcome to the BodPod, the podcast where everybody is welcome. I'm your host, Rachel K. Grimm, and each week we welcome old and new friends to talk all things body image, self-love, and confidence. This is the BodPod.
And like you said, when you're talking to yourself every day about how you see yourself and that you're a bad bee and you look good, like then on the bad days, it's a little bit easier
For sure.
to come out of that because you're like, no, I am a bad bee.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Like I'm a sad bee right now, but I'm a bad bee.
Our sponsor today is TrueKind because let's be real, bras should not cost as much as your electric bill. They should be super comfortable so you can slay every day your way. And it all starts with confidently choosing the right bra. That's why our sponsor is TrueKind. They're affordable, high-quality bras and undies you'll reach for every day. And they come in sizes extra small to 4XL so that there's a perfect fit for every body. Use the code BodCon at checkout today to get 10% off when you shop at TrueKind.com. Hey Bod Squad, I'm Rachel K. Grimm, the confidence coach behind Ditch the Click and your BodPod host. Every week from my cutie Brooklyn apartment, I'm chatting all things body confidence with you and bring you inspiring tips from some of your favorites in the space. And today, I am so thrilled to kick it off with another confidence boosting conversation with my friend, mom, wife, plus size model, Zoe.
Hi.
I'm glad you're here, Zoe.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you so much. We've had the opportunity to be on set together shooting in the past, and I've always been so inspired just by your presence in general. You have such a confidence about you, and also you're just a total model, like true model.
Oh.
You just naturally light up the space. So
Thank you. Same to you though. It's an honor to be here speaking with you. It's an honor to shoot with you. I just love being around you. You're such a vibe, girl.
That confidence just really brings great energy, and I'm so thrilled now we get to share your energy with the entire BodPod. So thanks.
I'm excited. I'm super excited. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. So this morning I had an idea. So I had an idea of where this conversation was going to go. And then this morning, my alarm goes off. I'm scrolling through my phone, and not that that's what I do right away, but you know how it goes. I'm scrolling and I saw an article posted by Alex Light, who actually was a prior BodCon speaker before. She's very into, you probably know her, so into body confidence, and she brings up a lot of hot topics that are relevant to the space. And she shared that there's a lot of conversation and buzz right now around Sam Smith and Harry Styles, because recently they were spotted wearing like the same jumpsuit style, and Harry Styles was praised for it and Sam Smith was far less than praised for it, was really given a lot of backlash really for being in this jumpsuit as a plus size man. And I just thought, what better place to start our conversation than there? Because I think who better to talk about the idea of us existing in a larger body and how sometimes we are looked at differently just because of the body we exist in, whether that's being over sexualized or being made to feel like we can't wear something that someone else does. I know too, you're a mom, so I'm sure you're dealing with that sort of conversation with your daughter. I just thought we should start there.
Yeah, well, let me first start by saying Sam Smith looked fabulous. He was given body on body on body.
I know.
Like I could never. He's just he looks phenomenal. Harry Styles looks phenomenal too. Not to take away from him, but I love the fact that he was confident in the body that he's in and chose that jumpsuit. He looks phenomenal.
Absolutely.
I think that's like the number one topic like on my Instagram page. Like, how do you feel so confident wearing this? Or normally I wouldn't see myself wearing something like this because I'm in a bigger body, but you're doing it, so is it okay if I do? I'm like, hell yeah, girl. I think we get over sexualized because we're naturally bigger people. We tend to have more boobs, more butt, so it's not appropriate anymore if we will. right?
Right.
But I mean, I'm an adult. If I want to show my boobs, if I want to show off my curves, I mean, that's my business. So I'm
Yes.
gonna wear, I don't see why as adults it's inappropriate if we wear what we want to wear. I think it's all about confidence. Is all about like wearing what makes you feel good. And I happen to dress a little more on the sexier side because that's what I think accentuates my body. That's what makes me feel good and confident.
And
So I think that everyone needs to just mind their business, you know, like if you don't like that on your body, then don't wear it. But if someone else is wearing it, I think that, you know, kudos to them. And I love that Sam, it shouldn't be such a, like a crazy thing that you wore.
I know.
It should not have made headlines. Like he looked fabulous. That should have been the only headline.
Right.
But
yes.
like, wow, he really killed this look. That should have been the topic. But the fact that it's like a comparison thing is so sad that today that's still happening. And I love that we're talking about this now because it's just such a thing today still, like that we're as adults wearing what makes us feel good, and people are, you know, there's just haters out there. So but it's weird that I feel that way, and then I have my kids, right? So I have my 13-year-old girl and my 7-year-old girl. I let my 7-year-old wear things that I don't let my 13-year-old wear because, you know, she's developed more. And I don't think it's appropriate at that age. So, you know, so she has, you know, she's 13, so she's filling out things. So my daughter is like, my eldest daughter is like, well, why can't I wear this? You let Maya wear it. I'm like, yeah, but Maya's a tiny little thing. Like she hasn't developed the things that you have. So it's a little like hypocritical, you know, but I feel for my daughter because I was there. I've always been curvier, and same thing. My mom would let my sisters wear certain things and I couldn't. So it sucks, but it's also just you know, it's I can't have like the predators out there looking at my child, you know? So it's to keep her safe. But once she's an adult, you know, she should wear whatever makes her feel good. You know?
Absolutely. And what's neat too, Zoe, is like obviously right now you're guiding that for her. You're being her mother, like protecting her in that way, but also being her mother and living the way you do. You're presenting to her that when it is time for her to have that responsibility over what she's wearing all the time and over her body, that she can step into it confidently. And I think too, like, isn't that where the whole thing with Sam Smith goes too, is though he's getting this backlash, he's also representing for so many people that like, hey, you can wear this and feel so confident in it when people show up as like their true selves in whatever they want to wear because we can. It's inspiring and you know, empowers other people to do the same. And I know as someone who follows you on Instagram, that's what you do for so many people. So I can only imagine then as a mom, you know, you're setting such a great example for your daughters to like step into their bodies proudly, you know, for themselves, but also for everyone around them too.
Yeah, I think that I love the fact that I dress sexy and my kids see me dress sexy. Because I mean, they see me dress like more conservative back in the day when I wasn't as confident. And I love conservative dressing too. I'm like all over the map. Like I will dress like I'm going to church.
I will dress what you want.
I wear what I want. I wear what feels good, what makes me feel good. So I dress all. So I love that they see me with the sexier outfits, and they're like, oh, you're showing a little skin. I'm like, well, I'm grown, so I can do that, you know. So I love that they see me. I talk to myself and I'm like, damn, you look good. Okay.
Yes, girl, me too.
And they hear me say that, and I love that. I feel like they're learning those things that I say. You know, that's how they should treat themselves.
Yes. You know, and again, what a great example, because I know I don't want to speak for you, but I know growing up, I had a lot of women around me who didn't speak so positively about themselves. And I think it's because it was just ingrained in them. You know, I can't wrong them for that. I think it's just the example that they had. And so I really had to unlearn that and be able to speak to myself confidently. Like you said, you know, confidence is really a journey. We all have like the ups and downs. You're not always super confident, but when you lean into it, it allows other people to lean into it as well. But it's definitely a journey.
It is a journey, and we're always going to have those days that we don't feel as great. But you know, that's that's the whole point of the journey. You have those ups and downs, and you just now when I go through those hard days, it's easier to pull myself back out.
Yes.
Instead of spiraling out of control,
Yes.
you know, which is what I would allow myself to do. But now I'm like, I have my moments, I feel what I feel, and then I'm like, all right, get it together. You're a bad bee, you know, like, like, okay, I've had enough sad time. Now it's time to be my true self again, you know? So
I think about that all the time. Like part of confidence and part of the confidence journey is, you know, really establishing for yourself those resources that you look to on the days that you don't feel as confident. And like you said, when you're talking to yourself every day about how you see yourself and that you're a bad bee and you look good, like then on the bad days, it's a little bit easier
for
to
sure.
come out of that because you're like, no, I am a bad bee.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah, like I'm a sad bee right now, but I'm a bad bee.
but I'm a bad bee too.
Yeah, it's really it's night and day. Like when I used to feel bad about myself, it would just spiral and it'll be like it'll turn into a day to a week to a month. Where now it's like literally that day and the next day I'm like, all right, I had enough of that. I had enough of that sad stuff. Let me get back to living my happy, true self, you know? So
absolutely.
And that's what happens when you form those habits.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I totally
interrupted. No, you're fine. I interrupted you.
So can I ask, on those sad bee days, are there specific resources that you look to get you out of that? Like, are there mantras that you have or rituals you've created for yourself or routines that you know if you put yourself in, you'll be able to get out of that spiral so much faster than you used to? And I ask as someone who is always inspired by the way people do that for themselves. And I know there are probably so many other people listening who go through those spirals too. Because like we said, it's a journey for everyone who maybe they could look to those resources as well.
Yeah, I have my things that I do. I definitely like if you know that you tend to get a little sadder, like for me, it's like right before my period, you know, I'm like irrational. And on those days, like I have my plan in place. Like I never wait till something's happening and then I have to figure out how to get myself out. So I have my routine. I say my affirmations on those days that I don't feel as great about myself. I'll go to the beach. I live in Miami, so I know the rest of the world right now is like really going through it with the temperature, but it's 80 degrees down here. So cold in New York. I'm literally sweating right now. It's 80 degrees out here, so I am a beach person. That really lifts my spirits. Even if I have like a little like sun window in my house that like the sun goes through on, and it's right on the stairs. So I'll sit on the stairs and I'll have the sun hit me. And those things make me feel better. Like getting vitamin D, the salt water, eating junk food or going for a walk, sweating, letting those negative vibes get out of me. Like,
out of you.
Right. Those things really help me feel better. And I do them like every month on schedule right before my period. When I know I'm going down, I'm like, nope. Gotta make myself feel good again.
That's exactly the kinds of resources I was looking for, because it's funny, it looks different for each and every one of us, like what we do, but there are like little things we can take from that. I know I see everyone doing like the hot girl walks on TikTok, you know, and I'm like, I want to incorporate more of that movement, because you're so right. Sometimes just like doing things that celebrate our bodies, like sitting in the sunlight or going on a walk, like it is such a celebration of this body that I'm in, and like taking care of it too. And so I love that you shared that. Thank you.
I don't know if there's any like actual science behind it, but in my mind, if I have this negative feeling in me and I sweat, I feel like the sweat is the negative energy. So I like I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like that's what it is. So when I see the sweat, I'm like, all right, well, I'm done with that.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it is science. Facts.
It's science now.
So obviously, so we talked a bit about your daughters and your daughters seeing you love your body, wear what you want. Like you said, you're in Miami, so you're in swimwear a lot. I want to talk a little bit about your relationship, if you're open to it. Talking about your husband, I thought so. Talking about your husband, and you're very open online about, you know, just that dynamic that you two have, and also the great example again that sets for your daughters. Let's dive into that a bit.
Yeah, so my husband, Adrian, he is my bestie. He's been with me through the thick and the thin, literally and figuratively. Like, at my lightest weight, my heaviest weight. This year alone, I'm not sure how much I gained because I don't weigh myself anymore. But I know I've gained quite a bit because I can tell with my clothes and just looking in the mirror. And nothing has changed between us. You know, I have found just a really great guy. He loves me for who I am. Because at the end of the day, this is just a body. You know, this is a shell. Like, he really loves me for who I am, as cliche as that may sound. And everything's great on this end, you know?
I love it. Yes. I like that you said that he's loved you at your thickest and your thinnest. My partner always says we love thick things in this household. I'm like, yes, we do. But I think I love that you share so openly about your relationship and about like his appreciation and love for your body and your openness to sharing your body like with other people, but also how it's like your relationship too. I love that you do that because I think so often you know, there are just ideas of, oh, well, that's only for me or that's only for my partner. And you so perfectly put out there that no, I can like be really confident and really be feeling my body and show a lot of skin, and I can still have this beautiful relationship too.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I get a lot of like DMs, like your husband doesn't mind that you wear that, or your husband doesn't mind that you dance like sexual when you're out. I'm like, my husband is recording this content, y'all. He is the man behind the camera. What do you mean?
He's on the sidelines. He's like, that's my girl.
He's like, oh, get low in the squat. Do that one dance. Like, he loves that, and we have such a really, really good dynamic. He just lets me be me, and that is my favorite thing about him, is that he just allows me to. Now, if I'm doing a lot, he'll be like, all right, you did too much today, you know, but he really just lets me be me. And I really want and hope that all my friends and all my followers find this type of love, because I mean, I hope it lasts forever, but when you can be your true self, that is like the most beautiful thing. 100%. And I love that also that he's smaller than me. I mean, it's visible when you look at us, you can tell that he's smaller. I'm the bigger one. And listen, he's handling himself well, okay? If you know what I mean. And he holds me, like, if I'm at my lowest weight, he's gripping on me in public. If I'm at my heaviest weight, he's holding me. Like, there's no like shame or anything when it comes to me being the bigger person. I mean, we've accepted it. He's shorter than me. I'm by like half an inch. I think it's an inch, but he'll say half an inch, but
we'll let him have that half an inch.
By half an inch, he's shorter than me, but you know, we're confident when we go out. I love on him, he loves on me, and you know, we're not worried about what other people think. It's the same thing. Like, when I go out and get dressed, I get dressed for me. I don't care what other people think. And same thing when we're out. We're best friends. You know, we don't care what other people have going on and what their opinions of us are. Their opinions is their business. So we move like it's just me and him in the room, you know? So.
Yes. I love that you said that. And, you know, you said pretty much the same thing about your relationship and the clothes that you wear. You know, it's my business, or it's our business. It's not really anyone else's. But I also want to highlight, you know, you said in talking about your husband, how he's so supportive and he cheers you on for that. And he really like makes you feel your best. But I want to counter and say, I bet you do the same for him in being so confident in your body. You know, you give him the permission to feel so confident in himself and to show up as his best self.
He is my muse. Like, there's not a day that goes by that I don't pick up my phone. I'm like, wait, don't move. Don't move. Like, I am obsessed. I'm so attracted to him. It's ridiculous. And it just, every day just gets more and more like intense. I'm like, ooh, this man is fine, y'all. Like,
I love that for you. Yes.
So I'm when he's out, I'm like, wait, don't move. Like, I'm always taking pictures. I'm always complimenting him. I give the same love that I want. So that's like my love language is, you know, words of affirmation. And I'm very big on that with him, and, you know, vice versa. So we really get each other.
I love that. And it's just so nice too, to see like, in the body confidence community, you know, we're always cheering on women, and we want to cheer on men too, to feel good about themselves and where they are. And I guess really full circle moment takes us back to that Sam Smith, Harry Styles topic. They both look amazing. They both rock the jumpsuit. Like, they deserve to be like cheered on and made to feel confident how they're showing up too, because that's their choice, how they show up.
Absolutely. I think, you know, we gotta boost our men up. We have to make sure they feel just as good. They go through the same struggles. It's just not as, they're not as vocal about it, I think. So.
Absolutely. Okay, I want to dive even deeper into motherhood and confidence for a second, because we talked a bit about, you looking out for your daughters and what they're wearing, but also you presenting as just so confident to them as someone that they can look up to. But I'm curious if we look again at resources, because you gave such great ones for you personally, resources that you maybe look to or things that you share with your daughters for them combating the just terror that is comparison and doubt. I bet especially a teenage daughter who is in the era of social media. I can't imagine being a young woman growing up in social media. There just must be so much comparison and self-doubt. So curious how you handle those conversations. Are there resources that you look to, or just any tips that you can offer, your fellow moms out there who are like going through and having these hard conversations?
Listen, motherhood is the hood for sure. It's rough. Okay, it's rough. Well, let me start by saying I was not always the best example of body positivity, and my 13-year-old definitely got the most
spectrum, maybe.
Yeah, so I was really, really hard on myself like 3-4 years ago. I was very vocal about how much I hated myself in front of my daughter. That's one of my biggest regrets in life. So right now I'm trying to double down and make sure she knows how much I love myself, especially her. But both of my daughter, my eldest daughter, Aaliyah, she's not very vocal. If she is, it doesn't feel confident, I'd be shocked. I feel like she is a pretty confident kid. I also limit her social media intake. She doesn't have TikTok at the moment. She is on Instagram, but I run her Instagram. So she has very, very limited social media intake. Access. Yeah. I would love for her to have more for the business end of it. And there are good things on social media. So I don't want to take that away I don't want her to not have that part, but I would rather her self-esteem thrive than for her to have those one or two good things about Instagram,
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then so now with my kids, every day we'll do affirmations in the morning. We pray in the morning together. I also am just very, the way I live, I think is the biggest thing. More than the affirmations, because, kids, they say, do what I say, not as I do, but kids are always going to just mirror you. So just the way that I live, I'm very, very vocal about how I love myself, or I'm very vocal about the outfit they have on. I'm like, girl, you're wearing that. Or okay, I see you coming through. My little daughter does fashion shows. So we're very we're a very fashion-y type of house. We're into makeup and all this. I don't let my kids wear makeup outside of the house. But we're very girly, and we compliment each other all the time. And that's really it. And just seeing me in a larger body, and especially because I have gained weight, my kids have noticed I've gained weight. I'm still wearing the same clothes that I was wearing at the beginning of the year. So if anything, I wear less because I'm hotter now. I gained a little weight. So now I have to wear less clothes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I love it.
So I think just being that example for them is the biggest thing that you can do, more than just, more than the affirmations. All of those things are good and I think are effective, but just being that example for them is the biggest thing in my household anyways.
I think that's so true. I think about when I was a young woman and my parents would always say, make sure you surround yourself with the good kids, because there's so much, you're so impressionable, right? And if you're surrounding yourself with good, you're going to then reflect good, and vice versa. And though then I was like, oh, that's so silly. I look back on it as an adult and I'm like, okay, I understand a bit more what you're saying to me. When I surround myself with goodness, I also accept myself as good and put goodness out too.
Right.
Very cyclical. And that's exactly what you're doing for your children, for your girls. You are making sure that they are consuming goodness all around. They're seeing you love yourself. You're doing the affirmations, but like you said, most importantly, it's not just you having them read affirmations or you just reading affirmations. It's you actually living those things out.
Exactly.
It's the action, and they're seeing that good and they're consuming that good, and then they're going to present that way as well. not just now as children, but they're going to always have that in their mind as the foundation for their confidence, you know, seeing their mom be this person. It's amazing.
Yeah. And I try on my sad B days, my sad girl days, I try to like keep that to myself, even though maybe I should share that more. Maybe when they're a little older, I'll share how I'm feeling on those days, because they're going to experience that too. But I am like, any negative thoughts and stuff like that, I don't let them hear it. I keep that to myself. If anything, I talk to my husband about it. But yeah, I definitely try to like limit any negative talk, you know, even just to myself. I shouldn't even have those words come out of my mouth. So, so on those days, I just make sure I'm like in my room, minding, you know, just dealing with my situation on my own. And then, you know, then they don't have to see that part, you know?
Yeah. Something I talk a lot about with the women that I coach is recognizing like lies that we tell ourselves, because it's so much easier for us to like hear the lie and accept that lie as real and say it out loud. You said, you know, 3-4 years ago I was speaking out loud in front of my kids like the things that I didn't like about myself, and those were all lies, you know, like those were all lies you were telling yourself, like not liking yourself. But now you're speaking all of these truths out loud, you know, for yourself, but also for them. But I love that you said, you know, I'll do it in private, or I'll talk about it with my husband. Like you still allow yourself to feel through those things, because you're able to recognize like, no, that's a lie. Like it's just a sad B day. That's why I'm dealing with this. This is not my truth. It is a lie. Like I am good. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am so capable. You know, I'm just having a sad day, and that's okay.
Yeah. And it's okay. It's okay to feel those days as long as you're able to bring yourself out of it quick, because it is like quicksand. If you don't, you'll just waste your life. And that's honestly like my passion in life, is to make sure women do not waste their life. You know,
Girl, yes.
We spend so much time hating ourselves, and it's just disgusting. And we don't have an extra life.
No.
This is our one life.
We get one body. We get one life. Like let's live it. Let it be its best. And it's the little things that we do that allow us to live our best life. Honestly, absolutely. I see you out there living your best.
Girl, I need to live a little less. My bank account is like, stay home. But yeah, no, I definitely, society is just so overwhelming. My kids are at school like 8 hours a day. You know, they hang with their friends on the weekends sometimes. And that alone is just so much time away from me. So when they are with me, I want to make sure that I'm trying to like, I want them to hear what I'm saying. I want them to do what I'm doing. So I'm trying to make the most, make as much impression or a bigger impression on them than society's, which is really hard because they're at school most of the time, most of their lives. 100%. So. Yeah. So I'm just trying to like balance it out at least, with some good stuff when they get home.
Absolutely. Speaking of being at home with the fam, all the feel good things, you said earlier, we're a very fashion focused family. And so that made me think about you being in Miami Swim Week, which, all of us on Instagram were super cheering for you. That was such a win for you, for your community, just absolutely so powerful. And so I feel like we have to celebrate that a little bit and talk about it on the BodPod.
Thank you. That was really a crazy experience for me, because I went into Swim Week with just one booking. And then I left with 4. So it was with big brands too. So I'm very proud of myself, but wow, was that a nauseating experience. I was so nervous, getting off the stage, but I love being able to represent in this body at this size with my stretch marks, with my cellulite. You can't spell cellulite without spelling lit, by the way. I think so, cellulite. Yeah. You can't.
I've never heard that one, and I love it. Yes.
So I love that, that I was able to do that. When I got on stage too, every time everyone was like, woo, because it's like a shocker. Like, wow, okay, look, this big girl looks just as good as these other girls.
Yes.
So it was nice. It was definitely something that I would love to do again. And I would love to see more than just me next year, not just one plus size person. Because now it seems like, we're the token plus size person. I want it to be like, we're out here, it's a lot of us, and we're proud of the way we look, and it should be more than one in each show for sure.
Absolutely. I love that you said that. I was not at Swim Week, but I go to Fashion Week at both seasons. And, you know, when we started seeing more plus size women on the runway, obviously I was like, yes, thank you, you know, the representation. But to what you said, it also does feel a bit like the token girl or the token
Right.
man. Like, you
Right.
know, we want it to not be a token, but just
A
be
regular thing.
bodies. Like, that's what we
Yeah.
are. Like,
Yeah.
we're just another body walking the runway wearing the clothes as it should be.
And not just the curve, like, because I have my shape is like that. Not just that. We need some straighter figures. We need, you know, my tummy at that time anyways was more flat. We need girls with a little more pooch. You know, we need everything. Yeah. Everybody should be celebrated.
Yes. I love that you said about the cellulite too. I think that is just so powerful to see on a runway. Stretch marks on a runway. Like you said, you live in Miami, you're on the beach showing up like that all the time anyway. Like, this is your body and you love it, and that's how you show up. And it's so great to see that on the runway, because I can only imagine whether it was people there at the show or people following you online, or just someone who was seeing those images for the first time, they felt like, oh wow, that's me in one way or the other. Like,
right,
it's the size or the stretch marks or whatever it is, like there's some sort of seeing me in that, and that representation is everything.
Absolutely. And you know, we as moms, people think that we should be at home just like with our kids. And I'm like, I'm more than a mom, you know, like I am a mom. That's my favorite title. It will always be the most important position and title that I hold. But I am also a businesswoman. I'm a model, and I am a wife, and I am, you know, I'm all these other things. So I love that visibly you could tell that I'm a mom with my stretch marks out, and that I'm on this runway, you know? So I love that. It was great.
I just want to say too that you make it all look easy, and I know that it is not, and it is a lot of hard work, but you truly, the way that you show up, and having been around you in person, the fact that you're, like you said, a business owner, a mom, a wife, a model, like you do all of these things and you show up just as your best, lightest, happiest self, like you make it look easy. So that's just me celebrating you for a second.
Thank you. It is not easy, but it is. I love being busy. I think that work is just, work makes me happy, which is like, I don't know. That's a very like weird topic, but work really like does it for me. I love being busy. I love networking. I love people. So for me, it just these things make me happy. I love doing brows here at my shop. I love going to New York to shoot with you guys. Like, I love doing this podcast right now. Like, everything that I do is just, I don't want to spend a moment doing work that makes me feel like unhappy. So everything I do just makes me feel good. I love being around my kids. I love going on date nights with my husband. I love to party. I'm still a party girl at the age of 31. Like, I party like at least once a week. You can find me somewhere.
You're living your best life, like we said.
I'm a Miami girl. Like, I think I'm gonna be a Miami girl like till I'm at least 71. Like, I love the streets and I love the sheets. I love being at home and I love being out. So yeah, it's not easy for sure, but we get it done. And it takes a village. I have really good support system at home. My husband is amazing. He's an entrepreneur and a stay-at-home dad, so he does a lot of the stuff at home, which I love. You know, that's also like a subject that gets lost in the sauce. So he you know, spends a lot of time with the kids. He drops them in school, picks them up. We do homework together. I get off just in time every day to pick up my kids and do homework with them sometimes. So it's a lot, but we make it work. On those days that I'm giving 40%, he's giving 60%, and on the days that I'm giving 80%, he's giving 20%. But if I can only give 40% that day, that is 100% of myself that I've given. I give 100% every day.
Can I tell you, I was just about to ask you another question, but I have to lean into that a bit more. I was actually having drinks with a girlfriend the other night, and we were chatting about relationships, and she said, you know, I just don't feel like I'm able to give like my full 50% right now. And I said, that's okay. Like, that's okay. Like, part of a partnership is that sometimes your partner recognizes that you can't give that 50%. Maybe you can only give 40, like you said, but then they step up and they give a little bit more to support. But then you also do the same for them, because at some point they're going to need that too. Like, it's not always going to be 50-50. Like, there are going to be times where someone just can't give it, and absolutely okay. Like you said, as long as you get to that 100% together somehow, and there is that mutual like respect and thankfulness there for each other, you got to the 100%. Like that's what matters.
I'm so grateful for my husband. My husband is like, he's just so amazing. He literally he picks up my slack every day. On the days that he can't do it, I pick up his slack. It's really a partnership, you know, like that is the best word for it, partnership. And then we just happen to just be attracted to each other. So it worked out.
I know. My mom recently asked me, she was like, why do you call your husband your partner? And I said, well, I do feel like he is my partner in this life in so many ways. And like you said, like, I love that you said picks up the slack, like so cliche, but it's true. Like that's what you do for each other. Like it is a partnership. Like we're in it together. And I'm sure too, as a mom, like
it's both of our lives. We're one. So if I'm helping him, I'm essentially helping me and my family. You know, like we help each other that we can so that we can both have this amazing life together. So you know,
we talked a lot about that support system that you have at home, the support system that your girls have like in their school, and that like you surround yourself with your online community. And I can't help but highlight the support system of the BodCon and how excited I am that the BodCon is really just around the corner. We just had the early bird tickets go on sale, which is exciting. And even more exciting is that you are going to be at the BodCon. You're going to be on a panel, which is just thrilling. Can't wait. More conversations with you.
I'm super excited. I'm like, this is like a lifelong goal. So I'm super stoked.
Absolutely. You talk so openly about it online. And like we said, we've been at shoots together. We've done interviews where you've just so openly poured out about how you feel about your body. I mean, you did it today. It's just such it's so inspiring. It's so confidence boosting. And the BodCon itself is just such a day of that, like so much confidence boosting content in one place. I know I've attended online the past 2 years, and I've always left like having cried a little bit, good tears, left just feeling like I have kind of some new little tools in my toolbox of ways to look out for me on the sad girl days and on the bad bee days. But also just leaving with new friends too. I mean, like we said, we have these communities that we've built for ourselves, but it's always so amazing to meet other people out there who are, going at life the same way, like with the same motivation of, showing up as your most confident self and wanting to feel good about yourself and wanting to cheer on those around you too. I just know it's going to be such a great day.
I can't wait. I can't wait to share all the things that have helped me to get to where I am self-esteem wise and just, be around like-minded women. So I'm super excited.
Absolutely. I will be so excited to tune in to your segment, Zoe, and like hear all that you have to talk about, because truly, obviously, I could talk to you and hear from you all day. But for anyone else who is interested in attending the BodCon virtually online all-day event, March 5th, you can get your early bird tickets now at thebodcon.com. I will be there. Zoe will be there. We can't wait for you to be there too. So Zoe, I like to end every episode with a similar question. You've already given us so many great tools and resources and told us, just how we can live more confidently. But I want to know from you, what does body confidence mean to you?
It just means being comfortable in your skin. It's not necessarily like just focusing on all those things, all your physical things. It's just more living life to be happy versus like, I have to look a certain way. I have to, even though it is body confidence, it's just getting out of your head, like living life for you and just truly being happy and comfortable, accepting your physical and just knowing that you're more than just a body. You are smart. You are a businesswoman. You are kind. You are giving. You are all these things. And why should we be made to just be just a body, So that's what it is to me. It's just getting out of your head and just living life on your own terms and being happy. It's accepting your body for everything, the journey that it's been through. Instead of focusing on the things that you don't like about yourself, what about the things you do like about yourself? Focus on those things. I love my hips. I love my lips. I love the stretch marks that I have now. Even though I hated them before, I love them now because without those stretch marks, I wouldn't have had my kids, so just really loving the body that you're in, appreciating that this body took you to and from work. This body has gotten you through life, and just appreciating that.
Absolutely. That is so good. It's so important to recognize our bodies and what they're able to do for us on the daily and what they get us through. Like you said about being a mother. I'm not a mother, so I can't speak to that personally, but I can only imagine being able to look at your body and look at your child and be like, "Oh, what? Like, oh my gosh." Like my body did this. That's
Yes.
so powerful, and that deserves to be celebrated, not hated. Like you said, it's truly body confidence is truly being able to celebrate your body right here, right now, not when it's 10 pounds less or 10 pounds heavier, right here, right now. Like we said, it's always a journey with body confidence, but if you can just find a way to love it now, it's a much happier life. It's living your best life.
It is. It really is. It really is. And I feel great. Like I said, I gained like 30 pounds this year, and my mental state hasn't changed. I feel just as good as I did 30 pounds ago. I mean, I'm assuming it's 30 pounds. I don't actually know how much I've gained, but I'm assuming it's 30 pounds, somewhere in that vicinity. But I feel good the way I am now, and I felt great 30 pounds ago. So
yeah, I think that speaks so much to your mindset. Like you said, if you can really find a way in here too to love you, it just makes you so much happier. It's so you're not spiraling. It's not worth spiraling over those 30 pounds or whatever it is. Like,
right.
You're out here killing it in this body. Why not?
I feel great. I look great. I looked great back then. I'm gonna look great in 10 years.
Yes.
It's just all about knowing that you're all accepting this is you and just loving yourself,
Absolutely. So Zoe, where can we find you to see you looking great, living your best life? Go ahead and share all of the things.
Zoe Chin Loy, the way it sounds, ZoeChinLoy on Instagram or on TikTok.
Amazing.
Or
and
both.
There you can find Zoe, just like we said, living her best life.
It's literally my life, y'all. I was gonna do this anyway, and I just happened to post it on Instagram, so and TikTok.
I love it. Oh, I know I love following you, and so highly recommend giving Zoe a follow. Highly recommend coming to the BodCon March 5th and hearing Zoe chat even more alongside of some other incredible people in the body confidence space. Also giving us a follow here on this podcast, checking us out on YouTube for all of the visuals, all of our cheering for each other and our happy faces along the way, and giving us a follow on Instagram at the BodCon to stay up to date with all of our confidence boosting resources when we have new podcast episodes coming out, and us announcing all of the speakers that are going to be at the BodCon too. So Zoe, thanks again so much for being here. It was so awesome having this conversation with you, and I can't wait to just see how you keep killing it out there.
Well, thank you for having me. I love talking with you guys, and can't wait to see everyone at the BodCon.
Yes, I'll see you there, girl. Have a good one.
Girl. You too. Take care.
Thanks so much for joining us today on the BodPod. We release new episodes every week, and we're available on all podcast streaming platforms and now YouTube too. Subscribe to our channels to be the first to know. Want to talk all things body confidence, enter amazing giveaways, and hear updates about the BodCon 2023? Find us on Instagram at the BodCon. My name's Rachel K. Grimm, and I'll see you next week.